Hey, what's going on, guys? Cryptocurrency market skyrocketed recently and offsets all the losses from this recent outbreak. In this video, I will specifically focus on my second favorite cryptocurrency, Ethereum. Then we will take a look at the price outlook and their recent development progress. But first, let's take a look at the Bitcoin market. Recently, in the past few days, Bitcoin exploded. Unlike stock market, Bitcoin recovered all the losses that were caused by this outbreak. In late February, it reached the United States. We entered into deflationary state. Every single asset class was falling in the free fall. Even Bitcoin dropped from $9,000 to under $4,000. But shortly after that, Bitcoin recently reached a higher price when this game started. It reached all the way till $9,400. As of the time of this recording, one BTC is over $8,800. If you look at the year-to-date period, in January 1st, 2020, Bitcoin was trading slightly over $7,000. From $7,000 to the current price, that's a 25% price appreciation. Peter Schiff is probably very mad, because he keeps tapping on the same rake over and over again. Ouch, it must be painful. He also mad because Bitcoin is outperforming gold year to date. Only 2 weeks ago, he made a video how gold smokes Bitcoin. How about let's check the facts right now and see who smokes who. On January 1st, 1 ounce of gold was trading at around $1,500. And now it's at around $1,700. That's a $200 price appreciation, which is only 13% increase year to date. But Bitcoin doubled that amount, 25% increase year to date. So, who smokes who, Peter? Besides Bitcoin, there are other many altcoins that outperform stock market and gold market by huge margins. One of them is Energi. Also, thanks for Energi for sponsoring this video. It helps this channel to grow. Energi is one of the top and very fast developing cryptocurrencies. The most evading Energi Generation 3 has been officially launched on the March 10th, 2020. No wonder why the price of Energi skyrocketed in the recent months. The current market cap of Energi is close to $100 million, and it takes 59th place as the most popular cryptocurrency in terms of market capitalization. If you look at Energi price chart, on January 1st, 2020, one coin was trading at around $2, and now it's close to $3.50. That's a 75% price appreciation year to date despite staking rewards. Energi started as a proof-of-work platform that forked from Dash. In April 2019, Energi transitioned to Generation 2, which was proof-of-stake coin. And within less than 1 year, Energi is live with Generation 3 that is capable of launching smart contracts. In Generation 3, there were important updates to the masternodes. Masternodes are the pillars of Energi ecosystem. Their primary role is to serve the network stability by validating transactions across the network. The cost of owning a masternode has been prohibited for many average users. But now you can own a masternode with only 1000 Energi, and not 10,000 as before. Current masternode reward is 40% ROI with 15% staking rewards. The easier barrier for entry will further decentralize and strengthen the network. If you're interested, you can set up my Energi wallet and masternodes simply and easily. For more information on Energi, check the links in the description box below. Second and most popular cryptocurrency besides Bitcoin is, let's take a guess, Ethereum. Yes, that is correct. ETH also almost offsets all the losses since deflationary economic state, and it outperforms stock market, gold market, and even Bitcoin year to date. On January 1st, 2020, one ETH coin was trading at around $130. And now it's pleasantly to see the price is above $210 a coin. That's a stunning 60% increase year to date. And as Bitcoin halving approaches more and more closer, the main beneficiary may not even be Bitcoin itself, but Ethereum and other altcoins. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos, that Bitcoin can reach 10 to 20k by the end of this year. If this would be true, then Ethereum would reach $400 to $800 per ETH by the end of 2020. There are lots of very exciting progress is happening on Ethereum network, which eventually will boost the price of the entire network. Let's take a quick look at Vitalik who explains the current development and the updates of the roadmap to Ethereum 2.0.
What are you excited about for 2020?
Sure, and I think, as you mentioned, ETH2 is definitely one of the big kind of stories of this year and the next, and probably the year after that. Also, kind of scaling in the shorter term. So, on the ETH2 side, phase 0, this is the phase that just launches an independent proof of stake chain, what we call the beacon chain. That's in the kind of very late development and of optimization, security auditing, already had a bunch of testing. We're gonna keep on having a test networks sort of stage. And so yeah, expect phase 0 to launch at some point in the summer.
Okay.
So that's something that we're very excited about. Proof of stake is finally going to be real. Then after phase 0, there's phase 1, which brings sharding of data, and then after that there's the rest of the ETH2 roadmap. So lots of really good progress on scaling. Even like the spec there is almost done. For example, it's mostly an implementation challenge now. The other thing that's kind of coming a bit sooner is some of the other scaling research has been making huge progress in the last few months, which is rollups.
Okay.
Right, so if you're not familiar, rollups basically are the scaling technique which keeps data, like transaction data on chain, but in a very compressed form, so you could knock it down to something like 10 or 20 bytes per transaction, but pushes computation off chain. Right? And instead of verifying computation, like for example, signature verification, contract execution, zero knowledge proof execution, whatever, on chain directly, you're verifying those things either inside of a ZK snark, so one person runs the computations, generates a zero knowledge proof, everyone else verifies the proof, or inside of a fraud proof scheme. So basically you have some kind of small set of actors, we call them sequencers, that just publish what they think the results of the computation are, or kind of Merkle roots of the results. And if anyone thinks any result is wrong, they can just publish some more kind of witness data, and that allows the computation to be verified on chain, but it's only done on chain if people disagree, right? So the first technique, it's called ZK rollup. The second technique, it's called optimistic rollup. They're both amazing and great. On the optimistic side, we've had multiple kind of teams making huge progress. So Optimism and Arbitrum are kind of two of the teams that have been really pushing ahead recently. And the amazing thing about these teams is that they're not just scaling payments in the way that some of the previous solutions did, right? They are scaling something which is equivalent to the Ethereum virtual machine. And then on the other side, you have ZK rollups, and ZK rollups, you have Loopring, which recently launched a beta of their ZK rollup-based decentralized exchange. So on-chain, fully kind of non-custodial, so you can withdraw your coins even if the exchange breaks. And they can theoretically do up to 2,500 transactions per second if every Ethereum user becomes a Loopring user. So that's also amazing, and they've recently made huge strides in improving efficiency of their proofs. So I expect both of those technologies to really make a huge difference over the next year or so. And then just zooming in on ZK rollups a bit more, there's been a lot of progress on zero knowledge proofs, ZK snarks, plonks, darks, all of these things over the last half year or so, right? We saw a bunch of things involving polynomial commitments come out about back in September. On my blog, I wrote some articles explaining some of those things. And then this month, there's been a lot of quiet work going on, and even making it possible to do zero-knowledge proofs for general computation. So that's going to be great for any ZK rollup, and it's also going to be great for both kind of scalable verification of computation, and also the other thing that it's great for that I'm also excited about, which is kind of the growth of privacy. A few legitimate reasons to do scalability being a really big one, I think, are going to become viable on the public chain going forward. Okay. Because before the story was, if you're on the public chain, then you can do maximum 15 transactions a second, and furthermore, you're competing with everyone else that wants to be part of those 15 transactions a second. But if you're talking about a roll-up, then you're going up to 2,500 or 3,000 a second. If you talk about sharding, that's going up to like 2 to 10,000 a second. And then if you do a roll up on top of sharding, then you go even way higher than that. The gains multiply. And so scalability of doing things on public blockchains is going to very soon be good enough for many kinds of even mainstream enterprise applications. And I think that's definitely going to lead to a change of focus for a lot of people.
According to the Serenity roadmap, here's the list of major network upgrades for Ethereum ecosystem. Phase 0, Beacon Chain. First phase movement from proof of work to proof of stake. As Vitalik mentioned in that interview, we should expect Phase 0 sometimes in the summer 2020. In Serenity Phase 0, a new blockchain or Beacon Chain that differs from the main Ethereum blockchain will be created. The blockchain will offer simplicity. The Beacon Chain will feature the proof-of-stake consensus mechanism. It will also run along the current proof-of-work mechanism for Ethereum blockchain to prevent break in the community of the chains. Phase 1. Sharding. Division of network transactions among multiple sets of validators. Launch scheduled sometimes in 2021. Scalability is a setback for Ethereum adoption. Sharding, on the other hand, deals with parallel transactions, storing and processing of information. Hence, it can potentially improve the scalability of new Ethereum blockchain. What's more, sharding involves increasing the number of transactions per second that can be processed by the network at a time. According to Vitalik, Ethereum network will achieve 2,000 up to 10,000 transactions a second, comparing to the current public chain of between 15 to 20 transactions a second. That's a night and day difference. Phase 2. EWASM. Update from EVM to EWASM. Launch date sometimes in 2021. Ethereum Virtual Machine or EVM enables smart contracts to execute transactions. However, to eliminate the problem of the current EVM, which executes transactions consequently, Ethereum Flavored WebAssembly or EWASM will be used. EWASM is believed to offset improved performance over EVM. It will enable to support the smart contracts, accounting, and the state of the new blockchain. Smart contracts will also be written in different language other than Solidity. And finally, Phase 3. Continued improvement. Ethereum 2.0 may have been launched a long time ago, but like any other system, there will always be a need for updates and fixes. The continued improvement stage has been solely designed to handle general and continuous improvement of this protocol. According to Vitalik, another scaling solution that can potentially launch even before Serenity is Optimistic Rollup. A rollup is a Layer 2 technology which scales Ethereum smart contracts and dApps up to 2,000 and 3,000 transactions per second. It's a major advantage over other solutions in the fact that it enables turning complete smart contracts on a Layer 2 using Optimistic Virtual Machine or OVM, reducing the cost of user transactions. There are lots of exciting development is going on Ethereum network. No wonder why Ethereum is considered to be the leader in DeFi world and currently takes a second place behind Bitcoin. And I do think this is the right time to get some more ETH at this price. Let me know what do you guys think about Ethereum 2.0 and their progress. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, hit that like button and subscribe.